I never thought the person who would try to hurt me would be my own sister. It wasn't just jealousy, it was poison. Literally. She tampered with my makeup just days before her wedding, hoping I'd be too sick to show up. What she didn't know was that I was the one paying for her big day. Every flower, every plate, every moment she wanted to shine. So I pulled the plug. And what happened next? It didn't just ruin her wedding. It revealed everything. My name is Emily, and I'm 27 years old. I never thought my own sister would become my worst enemy. Growing up, I always helped her, defended her, and even gave up things I loved just to make her happy. Her name is Sabrina. She's 2 years younger than me, and honestly, she's always been jealous. But I kept ignoring it. I thought, that's just how sisters are. Last year, Sabrina got engaged. Our parents were happy, but there was a big problem. They didn't have money for a big wedding. So without telling anyone, I offered to pay for it. I covered the dress, the flowers, the venue deposit, and even the food. I didn't want praise. I just wanted her to have the day of her dreams. But the closer we got to the wedding, the colder she became. She stopped texting me, avoided me at family dinners, and when I asked if I could help with planning, she said, "Don't ruin this for me like you ruin everything else." I laughed it off, even though it hurt. Still, I kept paying. Every week, I'd send money quietly to her vendors. I thought maybe she was just stressed. I never imagined what she was planning behind my back. 3 days before the wedding, I was getting ready for work. I opened my makeup bag, grabbed my usual foundation, and started applying it like I always do. But within minutes, my skin started to itch, then burn. I looked in the mirror, and my face was turning red, swollen, and blotchy. At first, I thought it was a product allergy, but I've been using the same brand for years. I rushed to urgent care where the doctor asked if I had tried any new cosmetics. I said no. He gave me a cream and told me to stop using makeup for a few days. That night, I kept thinking, something didn't feel right. I checked my foundation bottle and noticed it looked slightly off. It smelled strange too, like chemicals. I went online and searched some of the symptoms. The results made me feel sick. It looked like someone had mixed a common allergen into it, something I was highly allergic to. That's when a horrible thought crossed my mind. Someone had done this on purpose. I didn't want to believe it, but there was only one person who had been acting strange toward me lately. One person who didn't want me at the wedding. One person who had a key to my apartment, Sabrina. Still, I needed proof. So I checked the building's hallway camera footage from my smart home app. What I saw made my stomach drop. Sabrina's best friend, Tara, had come by while I was out. She had no reason to be there, and she was holding a copy of my apartment key. The next morning, I felt like my whole body was buzzing with anger. I sent Sabrina a message asking if she had sent Tara to my place. Her reply. Just a single word. Why? I didn't respond right away. Instead, I printed the security camera snapshot showing Tara outside my door. I also took my damaged makeup to a local lab that tests cosmetics, just to be sure. The technician promised results in 48 hours. That evening, I called Sabrina and told her to meet me at a nearby coffee shop. She showed up late, dressed like a bride to be should, polished nails, big sunglasses, and a white sweater that said, "Wifey." I slid the photo across the table. "Sabrina," I said quietly. "Why was Tara at my apartment?" She stared at the picture. No surprise. No confusion. Just silence. Then she shrugged and said, "She probably forgot something." "I had an allergic reaction," I said firmly. "My foundation was tampered with. You know I'm allergic to almond oil. Someone mixed it into my makeup." Still no reaction. Just a bored expression. I pressed on. "Why would you do this to me? I was coming to your wedding to support you. I paid for it, Sabrina. Every major thing, venue, food, decor, it's me. And this is what you do." That's when her expression finally changed. "You always make everything about you, Emily," she said coldly. This was supposed to be my moment. You show up and everyone praises you. You're the rich sister, the perfect one. I just wanted a day that was mine. I couldn't speak. My chest hurt. My hands were shaking. I never wanted your money, she added. I wanted peace. I stood up. You just lost both. And I walked out knowing exactly what I had to do next. As soon as I got home, I opened my laptop and pulled up every wedding invoice, contract, and receipt. Over the past 6 months, I had spent nearly $18,000 on her big day without a single thank you, but not anymore. I started by calling the wedding venue. The final payment of $5,000 was due that same day. I explained I would not be paying the remaining balance and asked them to cancel the booking. Since I was the primary name on the contract, they had no choice. Next, I called the caterer. The food wasn't paid in full either. I canceled that too. Then the florist, the DJ, the makeup artist I had secretly booked for her, everything. Gone. Each cancellation hit me like a punch, but it also felt freeing. I wasn't doing this out of revenge. I was done being used. By the end of the night, Sabrina's dream wedding had no location, no food, no music, and no glam squad. Just her lies. I didn't tell her what I'd done. I wanted her to find out the way I found out about the sabotage with a slap of reality. The next day, the cosmetic lab emailed me the results. The foundation was indeed contaminated with almond oil. A deliberate act. I saved the report. I didn't know what Sabrina would do next, but I was ready. I had proof. I had the receipts. And now, she had nothing. Sabrina's wedding day arrived, but it was nothing like the fairy tale she had imagined. I stayed home that morning, drinking tea and watching the drama unfold through my phone. My cousin Melissa, who had no idea what Sabrina had done to me, started texting me from the venue. Emily the florist didn't show up. The place looks half-decorated. Guests are standing around confused. There's no music, no food. Did something happen? I didn't reply. An hour later, another message came. The venue manager just told everyone the wedding is cancelled because of non-payment. Sabrina is screaming at him right now. Then came the photo, a blurry but satisfying shot of Sabrina in her wedding dress, crying in front of a crowd of stunned guests. No cake. No ceremony. No groom. Apparently, the groom's family hadn't been told about the issues. When they saw the mess, they demanded answers. Sabrina tried to blame the vendors, but one of the decorators spoke up loudly. Ask your sister why she stopped paying for everything. Gasps followed, and then silence. Melissa called me directly. Emily, what's going on? People are saying you paid for the wedding. Is that true? Yes. I said simply. I paid for everything. And then she tried to poison me. Dead silence on the other end. Then Melissa whispered, "Oh my God." Later that night, a video clip from the wedding disaster went viral on TikTok. Sabrina throwing her bouquet at a table, yelling. She ruined everything. But the comments didn't side with her. They said what I had known all along. She ruined it herself. The morning after the failed wedding, I woke up to a flood of notifications. Someone had posted the video of Sabrina's meltdown online, and it had already hit over 300,000 views overnight. People were reposting it on TikTok, Instagram, even Reddit captioned with things like, "Bridezilla gets exposed after sabotaging her own sister." This is what happens when jealousy turns into cruelty. Then someone shared my calm reply to the chaos, a post I had written the night before. For those wondering what really happened, I was the financial sponsor of my sister's wedding. She repaid me by mixing an allergen into my makeup to keep me away. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted to be safe. So I stopped paying. I attached screenshots of the receipts, the lab report, and a photo of my swollen face from the reaction. No drama. Just facts. And the internet responded with full support. Strangers defended me. Friends and old classmates messaged, saying they'd always known Sabrina was envious. Some even offered legal advice. One message stood out. It was from a local attorney who offered to help me file a case, free of charge. I agreed. By that afternoon, Sabrina was being investigated for reckless endangerment. I handed over the lab report, the security camera photo, the doctor's note, and the digital proof of everything I paid for. The officer handling the case was stunned. He said, "This isn't just petty family drama. This is serious." Meanwhile, Sabrina tried to do damage control, claiming it was a misunderstanding, but it was too late. Screenshots don't lie. 2 weeks later, we found ourselves facing each other in court. Sabrina walked in looking nothing like the glamorous bride she had hoped to be. Her eyes were swollen, makeup uneven, and her lawyer seemed frustrated before the hearing even began. Meanwhile, I sat with my attorney, calm, organized, and holding a folder of solid proof. The judge reviewed everything. The lab tests showing the allergen in my makeup. The security footage of Tara entering my apartment. Payment records proving I funded the wedding. Photos of my allergic reaction. A screenshot of messages, dates, and cancelled contracts. Sabrina tried to speak, but the judge stopped her. "You deliberately put your sister's health at risk, and then you publicly tried to shame her after she withdrew her support. That's not just reckless. It's malicious." Her lawyer requested leniency, citing emotional stress and family tension, but my attorney pushed back. "Your Honor, emotional stress doesn't justify endangering someone's life." The courtroom was silent. You could hear people breathing. Then came the final blow. The judge ordered Sabrina to pay restitution for my medical expenses, plus $7,000 in damages for emotional and financial harm. She was also sentenced to 90 days of court-ordered therapy and community service. Her criminal record would carry the mark unless she completed the full penalty without further incident. It wasn't a long jail sentence, but it was accountability. Sabrina broke down crying as the judge delivered the decision. I didn't. I just stood up, nodded, and walked out of the courtroom with my head high. Outside, the attorney looked at me and said, "This wasn't about money. You just won your freedom." He was right. After the court ruling, I expected things to settle quietly, but something unexpected happened. A popular lifestyle blogger picked up my story after seeing the viral posts. She reached out and asked if I'd be open to sharing my experience in a podcast episode. I hesitated at first. I wasn't trying to become famous. But she said something that stuck with me. Women need to hear stories where we stop tolerating abuse even when it's family. So I agreed. That podcast episode blew up. Suddenly, I was receiving messages from women around the world saying, "Thank you." I thought I was the only one. A brand that sold safe, allergen-free cosmetics contacted me and offered a partnership deal. Then a skincare company asked me to share my story as part of their campaign for awareness on cosmetic safety. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was building something. I launched a small blog, then a YouTube channel helping people spot emotional manipulation and sharing health tips for women with allergies. Within months, I had thousands of subscribers and brand sponsors. My life had purpose again on my terms. As for Sabrina, her groom's family broke off the engagement quietly after the court case. Her social media disappeared. Last I heard, she moved in with our aunt and was trying to rebuild. She sent me a short apology letter a few months later. I didn't reply. Forgiveness is one thing, but trust, that has to be earned, and she never tried. I'm not angry anymore. In fact, I'm grateful. That makeup bag disaster opened my eyes. It forced me to walk away from a toxic bond and step into a life that I built all by myself. And now, every time I look in the mirror, I no longer see someone who let people walk all over her. I see a woman who finally said, "Enough." Share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for your precious time. If you enjoyed this story, then please make sure you subscribe to this channel.